Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be looking at filming locations of Drag Me to Hell. And if you don't think that's serious, we better get going before Lamy gets us.
But really, Drag Me to Hell. Let's go. So Drag Me to Hell came out in 2009. Thank you, sir, for being loud. But Drag Me to Hell came out in 2009, a Sam Raimi movie. One of my favorite directors, Sam Raimi. He not only came out with The Evil Dead, but he also came out with two of my favorite Spider-Man movies, the Maguire Spider-Man movies. So Drag Me to Hell was a horror comedy. Now, a lot of people did not know that it was actually a comedy, and I think it kind of threw some people off. Now, it is a tragic comedy, so anyway, this is about Drag Me to Hell. Let's go. Drag Me to Hell had a great cast. It had Alison Lohman, she played Christine Brown. Justin Long, he played Clay Dalton, that's Christine's boyfriend. Lorna Raver played Sylvia Ganush. Awesome role, she did a wonderful, amazing job. And forgive me if I'm saying this name wrong, but Dilip Rayo, and he played Ram Jazz, the psychic in the movie. So right behind me here is the bank that Christine Brown worked at. It was a Wilshire Pacific Bank. And this right here are the doors that she actually went through. Of course, nothing's here now. It's a completely abandoned building, but this is it. Now you can tell by the shape of the doors, they have this big kind of rounded top here of the doors, even in the movie. So I mean, it kind of looks the same except for the fact that it's all boarded up. So this is the bank where it all started. This is the reason why Christine Brown gets cursed, is because she denies Mrs. Ganush's request to extend her loan. And if she doesn't extend her loan, then she's gonna lose her house. And Christine Brown really wanted that promotion. So in order to do that, she had to prove to her boss that she was tough enough to say no to an elderly woman, who that elderly woman turns out to be a gypsy witch. And right here, I believe, was the front door. Now this front door was pretty important because after Mrs. Ganush was denied the loan, this is the door that she was kicked out of, further humiliating Mrs. Ganush, which prompts her later to curse Christine Brown. Now the exterior of this building was shown twice in the building, maybe more than twice, but two that I can remember anyway. The beginning when we first kind of are introduced to Christine, and it shows her come up into the parking lot here and go through this door to go to work. The other time is when we see Christine getting dropped off by Clay. So it was roughly right here where you see Christine walking to work, going this way. Over here in this corner was a sign, the Wilshire Pacific Bank sign, and she walks this way into her job. And I'm just trying to match that shot right there. It's about as good as I'm gonna get with the camera that I have. Now it's kind of unfortunate. I was looking around for the parking lot. One of my favorite scenes in the movie happens in a parking lot. It's a garage, a parking garage, and I just went around the corner to see if I could find it. Not there. If I find it, it'll be in this video. So I just looked up on Google where the garage from Drag Me to Hell is, and it says the garage from the 2009 film Drag Me to Hell is located at 18421 Ventura Boulevard, Tarzana, Los Angeles, California. Now that is the same address as the bank. So it was either torn down or maybe it was underneath the bank. And it's a terrible thing to do. It's a terrible thing to do to stop me from going in there. But if it is underneath the bank, it is off limits because it's completely gated off. And this is also where Christine Brown gets cursed by Mrs. Ganush. But also, a little side note, The car in this movie that Mrs. Ganush is driving, I believe, is the same car from the movie The Evil Dead. Now, if you're a Sam Raimi fan, you know that Sam Raimi has put that same car in every single movie he's ever made since the release of The Evil Dead. So that car, and including Spider-Man, including the Spider-Man movies he did. So just a little fun fact. So right here is the second filming location that we're going to be looking at, and right now I'm in Everett Park in Los Angeles, and right behind me here is Christine Brown's house. Now this is shown several times in the movie, the exterior, and I believe they filmed most of it inside of this house as well. Now, it was shortly after she was dropped off here by her boyfriend Clay that she gets paid the first visit from, I can't remember if the demon's name is Lamia or Lamia, something like that, but anyway, he pays her the first visit right here. She starts hearing things. She starts hearing the wind pick up, the gate is creaking, all kinds of just weird things start happening outside of her house. And then she starts seeing shadows of Lamia or Lamia, however you say his name. And it was shortly after this that she started hearing all this, that she started realizing that, wow, she might actually be cursed. Right over here is where you see it's a nighttime shot, but you see the car, Clay's car, driving up to Christine's house to drop her off. Right here, right up this road. But Lamia also visits her later on in the movie, and you see shadows. It's actually during the day too, and so you see shadows and stuff. It's really some really cool effects that are happening in the shots. But of course we're getting a little ahead of ourselves here, and so there's also several shots where looking the other way towards the city is the backdrop, and you could clearly see that they were probably in this top room. There's a scene where Christine wakes up, and I believe they're in this window right here. And you see the LA skyline through the window as she talks to Clay. Now I'm wondering if that's where the swinging gate was right here that was making all the screeching noise, the creepy screeching noise while the wind was blowing and Lamia was kind of showing his presence. I can't say for sure, but that looks like it might be where the gate was. And if you wanted to see Christine Brown's house from Drag Me to Hell, it's on Everett Street, and Everett Place is the closest cross street. Anyway, that's Christine Brown's house, and we have many other places to go look at, so let's get going. So right behind me here is a cafe that Christine and Clay would come out of right here. This is shortly after Christine was cursed. And so this is the cafe right now. It's a pretty interesting looking store. I want to just kind of show some, it's not open, but I want to show the what's in the window because it's kind of interesting stuff. Anyway, the place is now called Luxe de Ville. I think I'm reading that correctly. Luxe de Ville? I don't know. You have like these crazy arms right here. It's kind of hard to see because of the reflection, but demon guy, a TV, an alien of some sort, and then a guy with a TV head, or a woman with a TV head, I don't know. So anyway, they would come out of this doorway right here, and they would make a right down this way. Now, if you remember in the movie, Clay was he was a science guy, you know? He was the guy that was like, nah, none of this is happening. You're not cursed. Don't worry about it. Kept telling Christine that, you know, this is her boyfriend. And she's like, maybe, I guess, probably not. I don't know. But I'm telling you, there's weird things happening. So they're kind of having that conversation coming down this way. It was right about here is when Christine gets this feeling that kind of overtakes her body. And she turns around, and this gust of wind comes at her with all these leaves kind of just blowing straight at her. And it was at that point where she turned around and saw this building right here. And so it was this window right here that there was a neon sign and it said psychics. And Christine wanted to go in immediately because she wanted to find out what was really going on. And of course, her boyfriend Clay was like, we don't believe in this kind of stuff. What are you doing? But she's like, no, I need to go in. I need to figure this out. And they end up going in. And it was right here where they met Ram Jazz. Now, Ram Jazz was psychic. And he was the one that solidified Christine's fears. Basically telling her, yeah, you're cursed. You're cursed by something way worse than you know. And Ram Jazz freaks out, and but he wants to help her. So from then on, Ram Jazz becomes part of the plot. Now, if you wanted to come out here and see the cafe and where the psychic building was, you would come out here to Mohawk Street, right off of Sunset Boulevard, right here in Los Angeles. Mohawk Street. It's a pretty awesome name. Okay, so we still have other filming locations that we need to get to, a few more, so let's go.
So how do you say the name of the demon?
Lamia.
What the hell?
So this right here is the Doheny Mansion, and it's on Mount St. Mary's College. And the reason why I'm being a little quiet because I'm not sure how they feel about filming, but this is where Christine was taken. Ram Jazz takes Christine Brown right here to a woman that does seances. She's the only one that could call out Lamia, or Lamia, however you want to pronounce it. Semantics, I know. But she's the only one that could call him out. So in this scene, though, Lamia is called out. They successfully get Lamia out into the real world outside of hell. And the idea was to put Lamia into a goat and to sacrifice that goat. And from then, the curse would be broken. As you know, in the movie, it doesn't go so well. So they successfully get Lamia into the goat. Unfortunately, before they were able to chop the head off, the goat bites one of the other guys that were in the room and transfers his spirit into him. Now, the woman that does the seances, Sean Sandina, she actually ends up dying
Near the end of the seance. And without her, they couldn't redo the seance, leaving Christine with only one more option to get rid of the curse.
And the only other way she can get rid of it is to pass on the button that Miss Ganush cursed and gave to Christine. So the idea is if she passes off that button and hands it to somebody else, they take that button, they are then stuck with the curse.
Not sure if just anybody can go back there, but it is at Mount St. Mary's College. It's a private college. It's not the easiest thing to get back into. It's here in Los Angeles, California, of course. But if you do come out to see that location, good luck.
Right here at this Norm's is where Christine would go in hopes to pass off the curse to somebody else. This was her last hope, and it was at this Norm's that she went to. Now, Norm's is not shown in the movie. There's no outside shots or anything. She's told that the last thing that she can do to get rid of this curse is to pass off the little button that was cursed. This is the Norm's that she was in when that happened, and she kind of frantically looked around the room for someone to give the button to pass off the curse. and she sees a man that looks like he's on his last leg. She's about to get up and hand it to that man, but she sees that his wife comes to the table and she backs off. But my only thing is that if she would have handed the button to this man, that would have meant eternal damnation to hell. So, but she doesn't want to hand this off. She doesn't feel right doing it to anyone. She ends up backing out of it because she just feels horrible passing this eternal damnation off to somebody else. Anyway, this is the cafe that happened at. So I'm actually sitting at the counter that she sat at when she ordered the coffee and looked around at the people frantically, but I can't really film in here because at least I can't film other people while they're eating. That's, you know, it's a private restaurant, so I'm not gonna do that. This is the counter right here. So if you want to see the cafe where Christina goes to give away her curse, you'd come over here to Rosewood Avenue and La Cienega Boulevard. And it's in the city, West Hollywood. Okay, this is Clay's parents' house. Now, this is obviously not going to be something I'm going to get out of my car because it's a very private place and I'm not going to walk up there on the sidewalk. But this is Clay's parents' house. Christine comes here for the first time and she has to, she has to put on a good impression, first impression of meeting Clay's parents. If you don't know already that Drag Me to Hell was a horror comedy, this is certainly the scene where it shows how much of a comedy it is, because the things that happen in this scene are just so outrageous and funny. Like eyeballs peeking through food and stuff like that. It goes about as bad as you would think it would go because Lamia shows up in ways that only she can see. So her reactions to Lamia's doings at the time are only she could see. Not the impression you want to give your future in-laws, but anyway, this here is Clay's parents' house. I'm gonna drive slowly by here so we can kind of see beyond the gate here a little bit, but so we're not going to be able to see much more than this, but anyway, let's move on.
So if you wanted to come out and see the house for yourself, it's a very difficult house to see. It's very difficult. Why would you want to come out here? It's a very difficult house to see. But, so Clay's parents' house is in Burley Drive, Pasadena, California. You're gonna have to look up the number yourself because I don't fully dox homes. It's just a thing I don't like to do, but you can find it online. But like I said, it's kind of a waste of time. But we gotta get going to the next filming location, so let's go.
Okay, now we're at the Union Station here in Los Angeles, and this is going to be the last filming location that we're going to look at. And this is actually the last scene in the movie. This is after when Christine thinks that she has gotten rid of the curse. And she comes here and she meets Clay. They're going to go on a vacation together. Clay is about to ask her for her hand in marriage. This is the Union Station. Now, I don't think we're going to be able to actually see the tracks, the infamous tracks from the movie, but I think we can go inside the Union Station. We're going to make this fast because I'm being charged $2 every 15 minutes, so let's go. So here we are inside Union Station, and it was down this hall here that Christine was walking. Now, if you ask me, this is just my opinion. I don't feel like the ending of the movie was deserved. It was clear that Christine was not like an evil person. She was just trying to move up in her job. And so I felt, just me, that the ending could have ended on a slightly more positive note. Maybe not the most positive note ever, but the ending where she standing on the tracks and she gets dragged down to hell, it was heart-wrenching. I mean, this is one part of the movie I just disagree with. I don't know how anybody else felt about that. I think there should be a part 2, and in fact, I heard that Sam Raimi is talking about doing a part 2. Now, I think it would be great. Now, everybody's like 15 years older, but I think it would be great if he did make a part 2, and maybe Christine could get out of hell, because I don't think she deserved that kind of ending. Like I said, I disagree with it. I don't know about how you guys feel about it, but so in order to get up to the tracks where the filming location happened, I have to buy a ticket and beep it on this and then go up there. I don't feel like spending money on that, but just know that the filming location happened up here. I just can't get to it without getting busted, and there's literally security right there. Anyway, this right here is Union Station. It's costing me 4 bones. 4 bones, people.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you like this video, you're also gonna like this video right over here. I went to 10 different filming locations. Go check out that video right over there. And if you want to check out another horror movie filming location, right over here is Halloween. Go check them out. I'll see you guys over there. Have a good one. Bye-bye.